He's so white.
Yes, it is. Let's see if I can fix that a little bit. Where we're at in the world. That's white.
Yeah. Why were we so?
Because that's
Okay.
okay.
No, but when you weren't sitting with me, I wasn't as white.
It's because camera's like auto adjusting and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Do we want to do the opening or no?
We can, sure.
Because
Let's see if it works. Everything's working oh so well today. Where am I? I can't.
I'm just gonna smile a lot. Introvert workshop. That's it.
Hello? Hello, hello? Please, somebody.
I knew I should have just said, stayed asleep.
Yeah. I would have been asleep for a long time. Come on. Is this working or not? We're not muted. How about now? Hello? Hello, hello?
I can't help you.
Yeah, of course.
Anyway.
No? Yes, now. Okay, so.
Yes, now. Okay.
Yay, hello.
Hello. I swear, I'm this close to firing my tech guy.
We need to hire somebody. Because this is getting, I don't know, I have no idea why. Okay, here's where we're at. Now we went to her computer, and it also wasn't working. So, I don't know what the situation is. On hers, the
camera wouldn't turn on.
Yeah, it was actually the Stickam player wouldn't turn on.
Right.
So, I don't know.
But that's
why.
what we used yesterday for the new show. Yes, can't you see?
Okay, yes, we can see you. We know now.
Yes, yeah, we're good.
Yes, thank you.
But anyway. Crap that we have to work out somehow.
Yeah.
It's been a week, and I'm really tired. This morning I had to go, oh, I'm sorry. Let's start the show. This is Lee and Paul from Relationship Rehab. He's frustrated. I'm sleepy. I had to get up early today and go have breakfast with Ricky.
Yeah. Yay.
He made me this for Mother's Day.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
And a card. And apparently when he was interviewed by the school people, he told everybody, "I love my mommy." So wasn't elaborate, but he got the point across.
That's right.
Because that's Ricky. And this is completely.
Yeah.
Because I'm like.
We're listing a little bit.
Okay. So can't get anything right, can you?
No, not. I'm gonna need to do a technology desoho or something.
Seriously, like cleansing.
That's right.
Get you some sage.
Yep.
For the stuff. Anyway, so let's see. We did our show yesterday. We did Making the Move with Coupledom.
Yes.
And we did what else have we done? Not much. Not much. This week has been really we're just so tired.
Mm.
I think Lady is pretty. Thank you. Crap. I don't have the focus today to deal with this kind of crap. I have major.
Just had to kick somebody.
I know. Lady is pretty is what he said to me.
You are.
Thank you.
It is true.
But I just got too much ADD going on to really give a crap what this guy's talking about. Okay, so I don't know. Should we talk about like the stuff I wanted to talk about and then talk about the food stuff, or should we like?
Yeah, just start out the week with
Let's talk about the week because so much stuff happened. I mean, and there's been a lot of talk and whatever. And this is relationship rehab, so we want to talk about what's in the now. Obviously one of the biggest story of the week is the killing of Osama bin Laden. And you wonder, what does this have to do with my relationships? Well, it has everything to do with your relationships. We talk about all the time that you're in a relationship with everything and with everyone. You're in a relationship with the world. Your relationship with where you live in your country, how you feel, So last Sunday, the Navy SEALs took out bin Laden, and then since Monday we've been dealing with all the fallout, the reaction to it, So Sunday night, apparently people took to the streets. Monday, people were still very excited. A lot of celebration, a lot of reaction to the celebration, a lot of speculation, a lot of bullshit going on. I actually saw a thing on. I was watching Rachel Maddow the other night, and she was talking about everything that all the other news people had said. That all the. It's like, oh, the wall was 18 feet, the wall was 12 feet, the wall had razor wire, the wall had barbed wire. It's like all the conjecture and all the sources are telling us and all that. And so it's been a very overwhelming week emotionally around that. And the reason why I'm saying that there was a lot of emotional stuff, because people got really emotional one way or the other. Either they got emotional and they took to the streets and they were like, I don't know if you ever saw the South Park guys did was it Team America years ago, and the song from it, I'll never forget. It's like America, fuck yeah. What a great jingoistic song. I loved it, and that's what I felt like on Monday. Because everybody was like, yeah, we did it. It's like, no, you didn't do anything. It was the Navy SEALs who did it. And wow, that was amazing that they did that. And, but there was a lot of pride in what took place. And a lot of waving of the flags. And some people didn't like that. Some people took offense to that. Some people thought that was disgusting and crass to be celebrating the death of someone. And other people, of course, went into their paranoid mode and, bin Laden died the week before. That was one of my favorite ones.
Or 10 years before.
Or 10 years before because of kidney failure. No, it was December of 2001 because of kidney failure at a family home in Egypt. That was something that I read, actually on Facebook from somebody that is my friend. So much stuff. Okay, and so this is my take on it. This is my therapist take on what's happened this week. Number one, and I think I've said it before on the show. 9/11 threw this country into shock. 9/11 threw this country into post-traumatic stress disorder. And post-traumatic stress disorder is really a very serious condition. You know, extremely serious condition, because it could lead to so many other problems. So some people with post-traumatic stress go into the depression mode. Some people with post-traumatic stress actually go into like a reactive mode, become very impulsive, paranoia, big time. And I think that 9/11 and post-traumatic stress is a good way of diagnosing why this country's gotten so paranoid, why we created the Tea Party in general, you know, because of 9/11, because everybody went into this I'm getting screwed mode, you know, and I'm about to get screwed, and oh my God, the other shoe's going to drop. And what happened on Sunday with Osama bin Laden getting killed, many people, what we saw on the streets and in the reaction was really like a catharsis. It was like, you know, I've been clenched for so long, waiting for the other shoe to drop or waiting for the other plane to drop, and it hasn't happened. And now that he's dead, I know it's not going to. And now this is my prediction. In fact, I'm willing to say it here because I'm so confident in my prediction about this. I don't think Al-Qaeda is going to be a big deal anymore. And the reason why is because this man held such a stronghold, you know, aside from being the money man of Al-Qaeda and the one that funded everything, but he held such he was a perfect terrorist in the sense, you know, it's like he was completely cold, he was calculated. It was all about the money. It had nothing to do with, you know, being a Muslim or anything like that. He was really just about the money. He wanted to bring down the U.S. through money. And I don't think anybody can fill the vacuum of him in the leadership of him being gone. They might try, but they're not going to.
I hope not.
You could hope not, but I think psychologically, I think that it's devastating for them as well. You know, so it's almost like we're going to swing the pendulum on them now, because now they're going into shock. Because here's the guy, the boogeyman who couldn't get killed, the boogeyman who eluded the most powerful country in the world, and then he gets killed, and so then the rest of them are going to be like, well, yeah, well, I'm going to get you back, kind of like what we did right after 9/11. Yeah, I'm going to get you, and we didn't. So that's really where we're going to be with that. We're going to go back and forth with that. And so those are my predictions on that.
Okay.
But as far as like people celebrating, we scorn people when we see them do this on TV from other countries. Yeah, you know, I agree that we don't like it, but the reality is that there's a reason behind it. You know, and our reaction to bin Laden dying was very clinical. It was very, you know, let's talk about this. What does this mean? Does this put us more in danger or less in danger? Some people who are more susceptible to let's say that energy, that anxiety energy, went into catharsis mode and went into celebration. You know, it was like ding dong, the witch is dead kind of thing. And they immediately went into the dance and into the revelry of like, oh my God, I'm so excited. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact. A lot of this has to do with the fact that we are in tension. We are in stress as a country, because of the economy and everything else. And this is a reason to get together and unify behind.
Yeah. I mean, and it also allows us to conclude something.
Right.
And that's kind of important for the whole
closure.
The post-traumatic stress part of it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, this will never heal the wounds of the victims of 9/11 and their families and all that. I agree. I totally agree. And this should never be even, that grief is something that you can't take away. However, there is closure to it.
Right.
There is that idea that no one's going to drop a plane on my head today. And we can all get behind that. In fact, somebody wrote on their Facebook yesterday, oh, if you're taking the trains, the federal government has put out a warning on all New York trains. And somebody commented on it, snore, we're over this. Why? Because it's like, okay, now we can go back to being the Americans we were.
That's right.
Pre-9/11.
We want to go back to being, ignorant and innocent
and
arrogant and all those other things.
That's the thing. It's like, if you think of Osama bin Laden as a child molester. Okay, I was trying to explain this to people the other day. If you think of Osama bin Laden as a child molester.
As an analogy. We're not saying that he...
Okay, fine. He was a child molester, whatever. Like, he's going to come back and get me. If you think of him like that, he stole this country's innocence. This country has worked so hard. If you know your history at all, this country's always worked so hard at staying out of it. But not really. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, if you know your history, you know that we've always been very imperialistic, that we're kind of like, nope, I don't want to get involved, and then people have to do something to us, and then we strike back.
Yes.
Like Pearl Harbor, World War I, same thing. That you have to come at us, and then we have to fight you off, and then we win.
And then we get to go back to being, indifferent and elitist.
Yeah,
Right.
Don't get me involved. No global economy because we want to do things on our own. Very independent, almost like a very, like an adolescent.
We are an adolescent country.
We are an adolescent country. If you compare us to like Europe and things like that, been around for thousands of years, we're like teenagers, and we're angsty, and we don't like getting involved, and don't bother me with anything. So this guy comes up to us and basically molests us. Here's a guy from halfway around the world who came and touched our private parts. He came and violated us. Not only, he took American airline planes and crashed them into the Pentagon. He took an American airline plane and crashed into the World Trade Center a couple times. There was nowhere we could be safe. That's what somebody who suffers abuse feels like. So with that trauma, if you think of somebody who's violated like that, they can go their whole lifetime feeling like that, waiting for it to happen again, waiting for them to come and snatch them out of their innocence again. And now that he's dead, there is a certain, you could let your guard down. And, celebrating, I have no opinion on it. I'm not going to, I actually made this analogy also with these people because they just wouldn't acquiesce to my superior intellect.
How dare they?
I know. I'm so funny. Well, the funny thing is that, it was two people. One person I respect intellectually, the other one not so much. And crack a book is all I have to say. It's like when people have sex. See, I'm really good at analogies. I like when I do therapy, I do a lot of analogies with people. So think of it like sex. Some people are really loud during sex. Some people aren't. Who are we to judge who's getting off more? You don't know. I mean, it's really, you can't judge that. So for the people who are celebrating in the streets, they may need that.
Mm-hmm.
For those of us who don't need to do that, we don't need to do that. But at the same time, we can't scorn the people doing that. You know.
But I will say that it does need to conclude at a reasonable time.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those things. It's all about the yay, and it's done. It needs to be done.
Yeah. You can't keep doing that. America.
Right. And we really can't use this for, you know, our reasons to start going into other countries.
That's probably not a good idea. So then, number 2, the other thing that showing the Osama bin Laden dead photos. Looking at this therapeutically, you know, and this is an important thing to do. You know, I mean, I think that we get really caught. I was watching the Martin Scorsese documentary on Fran Lebowitz. Very scary woman and brilliant woman all wrapped up into one. And why was I mentioning this? Oh, because I just want to sound arrogant like that. No, she was talking about opinions, and that, you know, that the news is no longer the news.
Mm-hmm.
The news is all opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is, I mean, and I would throw in there that this is why blogs are so famous now, are so popular now. People are looking for other people's opinion, and then not only that, they want to comment on your stuff because they want to give their opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And we've lost what news is all about. Just give me the facts. I will form my own opinion. Which is my opinion. So anyway, the pictures of Osama bin Laden, everybody has an opinion. Everybody should have an opinion. You know. So what? You know, why is your opinion important?
Yeah.
You know, that's what always drives me nuts. You know, I would sit there in therapy, and people were like, well, my opinion. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. You know, it's like, if your opinion is hurting somebody, then I don't really care about your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it goes back to the adage, you know, opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. It doesn't make you special. It's not a special thing. Now, the pictures, do we need to see them? No. We don't.
Yeah, one of the things we talk about a lot is a question that you should always have with communication is, what is the purpose of your communication? So you look at that and go, okay, what would be the purpose of this? It's to stop the paranoid people from being paranoid. Well, you need medication for that. You know, so unless you're going to start pumping that into the water, the pictures aren't going to do that.
Right.
We already know that. We've already seen it from things like
the
birth certificate.
Good Lord.
You know,
the guy was there with his little laser pointer. Within 20 minutes of it being out, the laser pointer dude is already going zip, zip, and tearing it apart.
Right. So we know that, you know, the paranoid people are going to tear it apart. Do we want it just for gratuitous? Yay, look at, you know, that's the face of a dead man? I don't think that that's necessarily useful for the country, or even healthy for it. No, it's like, I don't necessarily want my kids to see it, so why would I want my adults to see it, you know?
What good came out of seeing Saddam Hussein and his son's death? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching
I
this?
don't know.
Nobody had anything good to say about it. It was gruesome.
Mm-hmm.
It was grotesque. These are things you cannot unsee.
Right.
They are perverting our minds. You know, we already have such a high threshold for violence and for death and for nastiness that why do we want to pollute it anymore? Why do we want to raise that bar even further?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're telling you he's got a hole in his forehead, basically. You see brain matter. Why do you want to see that? I don't know. And it's like, people are like, well, no, people really need to see that because they want to have that closure. Well, this takes me back to talking to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law and I have very different ways of dealing with death.
Mm-hmm.
And I put it that way because Paul's kind of like his mom, but I think he can go either way. I don't think it's written in stone.
No, not so much.
Not since Susie's death can I pretty much say, because you're like, no, I'm going to go see her in the funeral. Yeah, go ahead, run. Anyway, so Paul's mom is the kind of person. No, is not the kind of person. Paul's mom does the following thing.
Yeah.
Not only does she spend most of the viewing time touching the dead person, fixing their hair, taking pictures of them.
Mm-hmm.
Taking pictures of them. She talks to them. Then she takes it upon herself to have other people do that. Touch them. Go ahead. Touch them. She made me do this. I think, honestly, but it doesn't matter. I mean, what is it today? The Al Qaeda military heads or whatever announced today that Saddam Hussein is dead. So what else do they want? You can't make them happy. These people are going to be paranoid, and personally, this just even solidifies more how much this is about racism. How much this is about racism. And that is my personal opinion. I know, I'm just another asshole with an opinion. I get it. But this is my opinion on that. No matter what this guy says, they're not going to believe him. Much like when Bush was, president, that they didn't trust him. Well, that one I kind of believe. But anyway, that was me. Anyway, so, in my case, I believe people when they tell me people are dead, and I let it go. Some people need that closure to be able to touch them and say, oh yes, they are dead. Some people don't. Some people are more believing. Mm-hmm. And you know what? In every area of my life, I am more believing and trusting, whereas your family, not so much.
This is true.
They are very paranoid. So they must touch that.
Yeah.
Prove it. You know what? I don't need it.
Yeah.
I'm an intelligent person. I can figure it out. Yeah, Donald Trump. There's a big guy. Oh, yeah. I don't know if watching the weekend, since our show, they did the correspondence, the White House Correspondence Dinner. I don't think I have laughed that much in such a short period of time. The stuff that Obama did, the stuff that Seth Meyer did, so funny.
I have to say, our president can deliver a joke.
Yeah, he can.
I am very impressed with that.
I was so proud of him. I don't know. It's like I don't know him from Adam, but I was so proud of what he did, and I thought he was presidently, and I like that about him. I like the fact that he could take a joke, whereas the big namby-pamby baby man Donald Trump couldn't. I think that's important to note. For those of you who think that you want to vote for Donald Trump, why would you do that? Why would you even think of doing that? Politics aside, this has nothing to do with politics, because ultimately, it's never about politics. It's about the person. It's a person that you relate to. It's like I could go up on the stage and do the whole, I'll give $1 million to everybody who votes for me. Here are the checks right now. I'll just write your name into it. And, the money's going to be coming from that coffer. But if you don't like me, you're not going to vote for me. Okay? And that guy is so not likable. Talking from me, and I know me, I'm one of those people, you either love me or you hate me. I
think this show is going to prove it today.
Told you I was sleepy. Probably just going back to sleep. But seriously, they're loved or hated. So this guy must know. I don't know. I understand anybody who could love him, but he's an asshole. He's a total asshole. And, you know, even afterwards, he didn't deliver the lines very well, and he's a stutterer. He said that about Seth Meyers. It's like, dude, he nailed you. But you know what? He's a big baby. So that's that. Okay, so those are some of the big things that have happened this week. Now, real big thing relationship-wise that's happened this week, which I think is probably not a good thing, but we'll see. Marie Osmond remarried her first husband. Now, you're going, Lee, how'd you jump from Osama bin Laden to Marie Osmond? Well, you know what? I can do those things.
She has abilities.
I have abilities. I'm flexible. So, she remarried her first husband. If there are any women out there, I mean, I only have a first husband, so I can't really speak intelligently on this one. But I know that if I ever left him, I wouldn't be coming back to him.
I can't really imagine that one, though.
That just... Now, granted, it was 30 years almost between marriages. But I think the reason why she divorced him in the first place, I mean, because she only married, the first time was only married for like a couple of years. She cited mental cruelty.
Ooh.
Yeah. So you went from saying your first husband was mentally cruel to you to marrying him again. And then get this, wearing the same dress you wore.
Really?
30 years before.
Oh, I did not know that one. Yeah.
See, this is why I get, I have to look stuff up and get the dirt on things.
Now, she married him after their kid committed suicide?
It wasn't their
Adopted kid.
It wasn't their kid.
Okay.
She didn't have any kids with him. She had kids with her second husband.
Okay.
And she had 2 kids and then adopted 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, it's about a year ago that her adopted son committed suicide.
So do you think this has to do with grief issues?
It could, but apparently they were seeing each other before that.
Oh, okay.
All I can say is, it takes a lot to divorce somebody. From the women I've talked to and the men I've talked to, there's a bad taste in your mouth for a long time for that person. And you go through different stages. Mormons. Well, in the Mormon faith, and that could very well be it. I mean, I was going to get to that. That could be a factor in it, because technically, he needs to call her into heaven. He needs to pass her through the veil because he knows her secret name. And for those of you who don't know the Mormon inside and out, a girl at a certain point in her development, I think it's like late teens, she's given her secret name. And then when she marries a guy, the only people who know her secret name is the guy is like the elder who gives her the name, herself, and then her husband. So her husband, when he dies, and apparently he just goes straight into heaven because, guys get that.
It's the penis ticket.
It's the penis ticket.
We all know it's a fast pass.
He needs to call her over.
Right.
With her secret name.
Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't, she lingers.
Yeah. Kind of like Catholic purgatory if we still had it.
Yeah. Before it was co-opted for
Mormons.
condos.
Trust me, I know the feeling of mental cruelty. I would, and that's the thing. I just don't get it. It's like you cite mental cruelty. Let's say that was completely bogus. Let's say that she just made that crap up just to get a divorce. And because Mormons, it takes a little bit of finesse to get a Mormon out of the marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how does he feel about that? It's like, bitch, you said I was mentally cruel to you. I mean, that's... Yes, families are forever and ever and ever. And can you imagine, like, you had your first husband, let's say that he was a total dick, and then he dies, and then you get remarried, and then this guy's great, but then when you die, the other one calls you. instead of the one you liked, that'd be so shitty.
That'd just be wrong.
That'd be so wrong. And well, I think that the women really, I mean, this is what I don't understand. How do you do that in the Mormon faith? Because she married twice.
Mm-hmm.
And both in Mormon, you know, hoobajubes.
Right.
Well, married 3 times now, technically.
I have no idea.
How do you work that out? Unfortunately, our Mormon connection is kind of gone now.
Yeah.
We don't talk to her anymore.
Or she's more or less disappeared.
I don't know. She kind of just like dropped off the face of the earth from us. So anyway, so weird stuff, you know. I mean, it's kind of like when people get divorced and then they go back and have like sex, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That.
I must admit, I'm more of a commitment person, and yeah, I'm committed to staying married. If I'm not going to be married, though, I'm probably committed to hating her. I mean, it's just, we already discussed this.
How could you hate me?
We already discussed this.
One of us ain't getting out of this alive.
Right.
That's what's gonna be.
It's all about commitment.
That's true. This is like, we discussed this before we even got married, because that's the true foundation. It's like, okay, either you're out of it or I'm out of it, but one of us is going to be a widower.
Yep. Stephanie says if the Mormon faith is real, she's screwed.
Because I am sealed to my ex. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Was he Mormon?
Yeah, she's actually using vocabulary that's...
Was he Mormon?
That makes it sound as if maybe he was. Oh.
I'm hoping.
Yes, it is true.
Yes, and they have better bands.
Yeah, all the fun people will be there.
Yeah. The drinks are better, and you have better bands. But was he Mormon, or are you Mormon? I don't know. I don't know these things.
Yeah.
Scary.
Let's see. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, if she's a Mormon now, she's not very good at it.
No. You're a broken Mormon.
Yes, practicing.
Well, you know, I'm always surprised when people are like, "Oh yeah, she's Mormon." What the hell she is? It's like.
She was married in the temple. Oh.
Ooh, we got so much to talk
about.
about.
Oh God. Oh,
wow.
Yeah.
Scary.
So, by what I understand, the thing that we just told people with the whole veil and the name and stuff, we're not supposed to know and like tell anybody. Yeah. But hey, it's out there. Yeah. It's like some big secret.
Yes. Well, we were told by an ex.
Yeah, she joined the church.
And you got your name, huh? Oh, you were not. Really? I did not know. I'm so surprised. Yeah. Did they kick you out like they did us? Not the LDS church, but the CAT.
Not a Mormon. Oh, yeah.
Oh, crap. Anyway. Hell in a handbasket.
Yep. Which is a nice way to travel, by the way.
I'm understanding that is a very nice way to travel. Okay.
Traveling by handbasket.
So, this week we were talking about food.
Yes, we were.
And we were writing about food because that's one of the keywords that Paul told me to write about.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we have a weird relationship with food in our house. I mean, you know, we actually wrote about how we both have food addictions, and of course they come out different because you got the skinny guy and you got the fat girl. And, but it's still food addiction. I mean, Paul thinks about food like sex.
Yeah. Shall we share dieting stories, if you will? Because I know that you have no dieting stories, right?
I've never had a diet in my life.
Let's see. When I was younger, I was very, very, very thin. I wanted to gain weight. So I would do things like eat a dozen eggs a day, a pound of bacon, protein shakes. I was taking in 10,000 calories per day. I was nauseous constantly because the food was always right there, and I would just keep pushing it down and pushing it down. I did that for, let's see, I do it for 3 months or 6 months. And yeah, 3 months I think it was. Did it for 3 months. I gained 2 pounds. And by the way, my brother gained nothing on the same diet. So yeah, my relationship with food is push in as much of it as possible, and it's good stuff.
Now, Paul actually fantasises about food.
Oh,
Paul's
yeah.
eating dinner, and he's thinking about his next dinner.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. There's a certain consistency to my...
Keeping Paul happy.
Yeah, right.
And his boys eat the same way.
Yeah.
You know, and everybody's like, well, that's good because, you know, then he has several small meals. It's like, no, he has several large meals throughout the day. You know, it's like he breaks every rule in the book. And, of course, you know, I'm sitting there next to him going, well, I want to buy it. Because, of course, I'm the chubby girl. But anyway, but our relationship with food is also exacerbated with the society's relationship with food.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, no better can we see these things as the fact that, you know, as bloggers, food bloggers are big. I mean, big. You know, some of the biggest, you know, what's her face? The Pioneer Woman. She got a two book deal, because she's got a children's book and a regular book. And she's got a movie coming out about her life.
Wow.
And I read her book because I had to do a review on it. Her life ain't that amazing. And I'm not, you know, it's nice, it's her life, but, you know, I'm not talking about somebody who jumped off a building or anything. She's a girl from Okietown who went and lived in L.A. for a while and then went back to Okietown. For us L.A. girls, now, it would have been more impressive if you tell me she's from L.A.
And then went there and
then went
there.
to Okietown and then stayed there. Just because you liked L.A. didn't make you L.A. And you know, I'm not saying that to be a bitch, but as an LA girl, as you know, born and raised in Los Angeles, you know, the stuff that you knew didn't even compute to me when I lived there. I mean, you know, she's talking about, you know, she lived in the big city. No, actually, she lived in the city, I think in Okietown. Yeah, she is a blogger.
Yes.
The Pioneer Woman. But I mean, I'm not talking about her, but the fact, okay, she's a food blogger, and you know, granted, her blog is beautiful. I mean, if you've ever gone to it, I swear to God, her food is sexier than than anything else.
Makes me hungry every time.
She takes the best food pictures. You could almost taste it, you know, but that's the thing. It's like we look at food, and it elicits almost a sexual response to it. It's that, oh wow, that's yay. Much like, you know, when I look at the trailer for Thor, and I see this Chris Helmsman dude, or Helmsworth, whatever. My God. And I like to think of our yummy words to describe him, like he's delicious, he's yummy, you know. Anyway.
Anything
else?
else?
Think straight when I think about that guy. What? What? Anyway, but that's the thing. It's like, you know, we've paired food and sex so much that it's no longer utilitarian.
Oh, true.
Food is no longer utilitarian. Food was a means to energize your body, and it's kind of like if your car started, you know, seeing gasoline as sexy, and would sneak in sips of gasoline when you weren't looking.
Well, what was the movie? 9.5 Weeks or
when they're in the refrigerator and he's feeding her.
Right. Yeah. I mean, technically, if I remember right, there wasn't any sex during that part. No, it was just feeding. But it was definitely.
Yeah, her eyes closed.
Yeah, it was
sensuality of it.
Yes.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, we have completely jumped over sensuality, because you see, food has always been something sensual, because, you know, as your mouth is a very, you know, your mouth has so many nerve endings in it, and that's why kissing is, you know, one of the best ways of having foreplay, because it has so many nerve endings, and it's connected to so many things, and because it's on the top of your head, and we have so many societal emotional links to what kissing means. You kiss the one you love.
Mm-hmm.
You kiss the ones you love. So you know that when you're getting kissed, even if it's a guy that just met you, there is potential of love. So then that's why you tend to like fall into a kiss, because your brain already starts going, ooh, this is love. Mm-hmm. And it starts like, sending out the endorphins and making you feel good. So that's why kissing is such a big deal. Now, if you think about eating, same area of the body, it's a sensual link to that. But we've completely jumped over the sensual and moved into the sexual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, even for the really sensual foods, even the motions are the same. They do the strawberry, and it's like, eating a strawberry very slowly, and it's almost like kissing the strawberry. Now, this does not apply to a piece of steak or something like that.
I've seen people, I've seen you chow down on your steak and roll your eyes back and for other things.
But yes, but still, I'm saying the motion of the mouth, right? The motion of the mouth and the, is not the same, because, I have not, launched into, We're going the wrong direction with the show today. Aye, brother.
That's why when we talk about aphrodisiacs, realize that aphrodisiacs, we don't really know if any of them work.
No.
There is no pure scientific proof. Most of it is anecdotal.
Mm-hmm.
But people swear by it. For example, a glass of wine. Now, anybody who enjoys drinking wine knows that you have a glass of wine and you're relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's ever had back pain
mm-hmm.
knows that if you pair a few Advil with a glass of wine, the Advil are going to work better.
Yeah.
And in fact, if you have an orthopedic surgeon or
mm-hmm.
Or an orthopod of any kind who is treating your back pain, they will suggest that you drink a glass of wine.
Mm-hmm.
with whatever medication you're taking.
We have heard this one several times from different doctors.
Many times.
Yeah.
Because wine has chemicals that relax your
mm-hmm.
muscles.
Right.
Now, for those of us who understand how sex works, you could see why wine
mm-hmm.
would be an aphrodisiac.
And you can also figure that since one of the most common problems with sex is relaxing.
Women, there are medical conditions that would cause a woman to be anorgasmic,
mm-hmm.
or in other words, she can't have an orgasm. But the primary psychological reason,
Stephanie says that she needs more wine.
I'm gonna get one of those caps with 2 wine bottles and a straw. Not wine. But what the psychological reasons that wine helps is also because it turns off your brain a little bit. And, women know that sex for them, up until a certain point in the sexual, what do you want to call it, continuum,
mm-hmm.
Is very mental. And if you can't turn off your brain, or at least turn it down a notch, then it's hard to get into what's happening.
Right.
So, wine, very good aphrodisiac, even though if it's only anecdotally. Chocolate.
Mm-hmm.
We know that chocolate elicits the same, actually the chocolate helps release the same neurochemicals that love releases.
Right.
So you know that you're going to feel euphoric. You know that you're going to feel that warm, fuzzy feeling when you have chocolate. That helps you have better sex.
Mm-hmm.
Because we also know that people who are in love tend to report more satisfying sex.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the neurochemicals, people. It's not just because of the love. I know. I don't want to burst your bubble. But
yeah. Brain chemistry.
Who cares? You're having better sex. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Okay, garlic.
No, I know that.
That
yeah, right.
Yeah, that I remember when we were first dating, you know, I was very innocent, and he completely corrupted me.
It's true.
And I remember going out to dinner, and I was like, look, I'm not gonna get that because that has garlic. And he's like, why? I'm like, well, you know, I don't want my breath. And he goes, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, in fact, I'll get something like that too.
Right.
So if you both get garlic,
then it's all good.
It's all good. Not just one of you. And then obviously don't brush your teeth. And then the other one didn't brush her teeth, and so.
Yeah, see, I'm all about the pairing. See, if one of you has orange juice and the other one can't have mint, because those two don't go well together.
Those are gross.
No, but like have one of you have garlic, the other one onion. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Garlic wine.
Yeah, well, garlic wine. Yeah. Basil.
A little tomato.
See?
You got a salad going on.
It's all about pairing.
But we know that garlic helps blood flow.
Mhm.
We know that garlic, you know, reduces blood pressure. We know that garlic actually helps you lower your cholesterol, and all of that is because it is helping your blood become stronger and better. So blood flow is paramount in having good sex. So eat garlic.
I also wonder how much of this it has to do with just stimulating senses in general. Because garlic stimulates a lot of senses. It gets your sense of smell. If there's a lot of it, it actually burns a little bit. You know, gets into the eyes, the whole bit.
You're getting all excited.
Time to slather you.
Sorry. Like, woman, get back in the kitchen.
That's right.
Actually, this is one that I found very interesting. Pineapple.
Yeah. And lately I've been really into pineapple.
Yeah, you have. Pineapple has been known to cause spontaneous erections in men. For generations, actually for centuries, in Hawaii, it has been the #1 impotency, natural impotency remedy. And the funny thing is that those people who do have the spontaneous erections, I'm like getting so tired that all the big words are like, oh. Anyway, those people who do have it like an allergic reaction to the pineapple.
Really?
It comes
That's
out.
That's a good allergic reaction, though.
I don't mind that one. Yeah, I know. I'm very tired. Anyway, so it's like an allergic reaction. So it's histamines and the whole bit, and that's what causes their erections. But yes, but it does facilitate erection. So pineapples.
Like I said, I've been lately just pineapples. Like, I guess my body knows that it wants more erections.
Yeah. Here's something interesting. We live in Miami, and you think that, you know, we're surrounded by sugar cane, and it's the orange state. Do you realize that we never get Florida oranges? We eat California oranges here. All the fruit is brought in from somewhere else. Because I'm about to mention the big one, avocado.
Yes.
Avocados.
Yeah.
We get the big watery kind that are gross. That are like from here in South America and Central America. But
we don't like those ones so good.
But specifically, the Hass avocado is really good.
Yes. Those are the ones that you get in California. And they're nice and creamy, and they're the really darker skin and that kind of stuff.
Right, and they're buttery, and the oils in that are such healthy, really good for you oils. Now, granted, they're very fatty things, so if you're trying to do a low-fat diet, you can't have a lot of this. But you know, avocado has been, you know, in terms of a remedy, has been used for babies born with Down syndrome. Instead of giving them regular milk, they give them avocado. The avocado, the fats in avocado help you create more neurotransmitters and help, you know, the connections and in fact, when they started doing that, we were at a conference in Santa Barbara. It's like 1989 or something like that. So avocado, very good yummy thing. I mean, so like if you think about it, if you take avocado and you take some garlic and basil's another good one. Basil's another aphrodisiac, and I'm like, oh my god, these are like my favorite foods all together. Basil, avocado. You could do almost like a avocado bruschetta.
So now you know the secrets to our marriage. The reason why we're in love has nothing to do with us. It's all about the food. Right?
Yes. Exactly. About that.
And we can start wrapping up. We got 3 minutes, and I promise by next week we will have our shit together.
This is just the technological stuff that it just throws us off completely, and I don't know why it is. It's I don't know.
I don't either, because it's not one problem. It seems to be many.
No. So we gotta work.
Oh, I'm burning through. At this point, I'm burning through everything. I already brought in my computer to Best Buy. They said that all the hardware was fine. So.
And he thought it was his internal modem.
Yeah.
So no.
I will be fixing all of this.
And if not, then I'll be here with somebody else next week.
That's right. Yes.
You know, halfway through the week, I'll probably start auditioning new husbands. And
yeah, more technically skilled ones.
Yeah.
As if you can find any.
No, go ahead, keep shit talking.
That's right. That's me.
You wonder where your boys get it. Anyway, so for all the moms out there, there's any moms watching. Happy Mother's Day.
Yes.
I hope you have a wonderful.
We know there's a mom watching.
I know there's at least one mom watching. Happy Mother's Day. Have a great Sunday. Treat yourself if you can. Sleep in.
That's right.
Enjoy.
Yes.
Get pampered. Wear Pampers. Whatever you want to do.
Pampers, yes. That's what you need. Wear Pampers.
Internet speed. Do you think it's internet speed?
Yeah, I have been, but I will look. I'm going to look at that one again.
I don't know. I mean, the thing that was happening when the show started, it was just that the Stickam wasn't turning on the camera thing.
The player wasn't working.
Everything else was working. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What else did I want to say? Next week, we're talking about love again, and gonna get into pretty much shooting down all the other experts talking about love.
Yeah, we're gonna do some smack talking.
Yeah. There's a lot of stupid people out there, and a lot of people are calling themselves experts, and it's time to say no.
Yeah.
Time to say shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yes.
He likes it when I do things like that too.
Excellent.
Okay, so